So what we're going to do is actually count down to a certain date, let's say. So let's begin. First, we'll go into our scene settings. We'll go into our plugins, go into the built-ins, scene plugins, and drag our data pool into these scene settings plugin folder. From here, let's just go ahead and drag a group down. And since we're going to kind of be working with some text here, we'll also need some text. So we'll go into our server, drag a font down, and let's drag it as a subcontainer of this group. And if you want, you can rename this group if you want or something like that. We can always go back and rename these things later to clean it up. So here's our first font. What we want to do is basically countdown. So we'll go into built-ins, we'll go into our container plugins, into the data, and we'll look for a plugin called Data Countdown. And we're going to take this countdown or Data Countdown and drag it onto our top group here. When I click on it, you can see what we have is a DP variables prefix. So we can rename this basically anything we want. So let's call this time. And below this, we have a target day and month, target year, target hour, target minute, target second. So a lot of different variables here that we can target. So first, let's start with our target day and month. I don't know specifically what day you want to count down to, but let's say the target day is going to be the 17th day of the calendar. So the target month, let's say our third month of the year, which will be March, and our target year, let's say whatever, we'll do 2015. Our target hour, if we want that, we could specifically count down to that too. We'll leave that blank for the moment. Now what we're going to do is, since we filled out a day in the month, a month, and a year, we're going to need 3 containers. So we're going to copy our text 3 more times, and let's just kind of spread these out here, and we can drag these down to separate them. All right, so one's going to be the month, the day, the year. Okay, so we'll drag a data text down, and we'll click on the text, and we'll say time underscore days. And you can see immediately when we do that, that it's switched to 410 days, because that's how long it's going to take to get to March 17th, 2015. If we move this year up, that should change. If we move it down, that will also change. So we'll leave it at that, and then we'll drag another data text down here, and we'll come in here, and since we entered time in here in our data countdown, this is our beginning field name. So we type time, small case, underscore, and what do we want here is hours. So we can type in hours right there, and it sets that. So there you can see that 3 hours we have. If we go back into our countdown, if we change any one of these variables again, it should change those settings. Let's do one more. We'll drag another text down. This time again, we'll say time, small case, and let's say we actually want to know the minutes. So we'll type in mins, and once we do that, it changes. So we could go back into our first one here, into our text, and we have a suffix and a prefix that we can add or put after the word. So our suffix here, let's say 45 days. Our next one here, let's say months. We can type in months, and then here, so in here, in our suffix here, we'll type in hour, and then here we'll put minutes. So we have 45 days, 2 hours, and 58 minutes to go. So from here, it's all pretty much design and peripherals. So if you want to clean it up a little, we could add another text here. We'll get rid of that, and let's say we're counting down to a particular date, and we could label it here. Let's say, I don't know, March 17th, 2014. So this is the date we're counting down to. Again, you can always go back in here and add more things such as minutes, seconds, and other things. So if we want to be very much more specific, as we change the minutes here, you can see how this is going to affect the countdown time of our particular countdown. And then, like I said, it's all designed from here. So if you need to go back and add some imagery or whatever, so for instance,